Welcome back to the Hard Drive Radio Studios. My name is Lou Brutus. Pete and Sam Loeffler of Chevelle are my guest. In one of our early segments, you spoke about folks who aren't in the band anymore, and this is sort of a familial thing. And how best do you guys want to address this?
I mean, there's not really that much to address. I mean, Dean's been with us now for 13 years, and it's been great to have him. And he is he adds such an artistic element to the music and to everything that
the set designs, things like that,
set designs and all this stuff. And it's been great to have him. And he's actually working on a couple of projects right now at home, some big art projects, because he's never still. He's always working.
Again, when you have someone who used to be in the band, we've never really spoken about this because I don't like to ask generally about ex-band members or ex-girlfriends or ex-anything, you know. But what's it like at like a family reunion or something?
I mean, we it doesn't happen. Yeah. Between, how would you tackle that question?
I mean,
it's like
we never got along anyway, and there was it's like I said, it was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
There's a total misunderstanding of what the
how the end happened.
Yeah, of how all that happened. He quit 3 times, and then the 4th time he quit, we just finally took him up on it. And it's not, it wasn't that big of a deal because it was never actually that much. He didn't really want to spend time writing. He didn't want to spend time working on it. He didn't enjoy those things. They were not for him. And he told us that. So we weren't together that much anyway. And so when
the band was broken way long before
when he left, he learned the songs in the studio after they were written. It wasn't something that he cared about at that time anyway. So when he left, it didn't change the dynamic of the writing,
the creativity, because there was,
And sometimes we get people saying, "Oh, I miss that element," but they don't understand that there was no element. You're not missing anything.
I mean, he played the live shows, and that was like the extent, basically, in our eyes.
Well, back to Dean, he's such a great addition, and one of my favorite things artistically that Dean has done for the band is really one of the smallest and maybe least known, but you guys can probably describe it better. I was on the bus, and I'd wrapped up an interview with him, and I was on the way off, and I noticed a piece of artwork that was taped up next to the day schedule on the way out of the bus, and perhaps you can describe the rest of this. We'll cut away to a picture of it in just a moment. My autographed copy of this thing.
You're talking about the one from the ninth gate?
From the ninth gate.
Yeah, because he does, he'll do random engravings and carvings, and then he'll do whole painted series, and then he'll do prints of those series as well. So Dean's a busy dude. When he's on the bus, he'll paint, in 4 weeks, he'll paint, 6 or 8 full oil paintings or watercolors or something like that while he's sitting there in his bunk. It's kind of amazing. His bunk's like a little art studio in there. He's a really constantly creating.
I'm so jealous of people who can do that. Do you look at somebody creating other art that you don't do ever and think, God
I
almighty.
try to mess his stuff up. Like when he's not in there, I'll make an extra like a little swirl or throw garbage in his bunk. Whatever, just to
You're a cruel man, Mr. Loeffler.
I mean, I like to think that I'm encouraging him.
The chaotic element to the art.
He's like, why is there always garbage in my bunk? I don't know, man.
If I go to see him on this tour coming up and he's cut off an ear in frustration and Van Gogh'd on us, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I can take it.
But back to this ninth gate engraving. If you can describe for folks like what it was for and what he based it on and all this.
It was really to get us around. You need to get to your dressing room or the bathroom or whatever. And he took sort of a clip and out of the book, a little photocopy there, and turned it into the direction to go. So whichever way it was painted, the guy holding
the stage
the
and
was
the
that way or
catering
that
was
way.
that
Yes,
way.
this way to the 7th level of hell.
Yeah.
And it was a brilliant play on this Johnny Depp film where he's trying to track this book supposedly written by Satan, and looking at the engravings which change from book to book.
Yeah.
That's why when I saw it on the wall of the bus, I stopped dead in my tracks.
I was impressed you knew that.
Dean was like, you're the first one. And I said, can I have this? Can you guys autograph? Because this is what a nerdy-ass fan I am, So I'm tracking down the guys with the engraving from the Depp film. That's my life, So, boy, your
Good for
wife
you.
would be driven crazy by me collecting all this nonsense that I
I mean,
have.
I don't think she minds so much. She's just glad I'm not at the bars. Yeah.
Did you guys ever hit the bars? I never remember you guys being crazy about anything.
We like to drink good stuff. We are big fans of.
What's good stuff?
Well, great beer.
You like
Obviously,
scotch, don't you?
great scotch, great
I don't
tequila.
really do the scotch.
But none of you guys I ever remember being like,
Big drinkers.
hey, yeah, like
Booze
he's
hounds?
passed out and there's 2 pounds of blow on the bus. Like none of that kind of
Yeah.
nonsense.
There would never
Not
have been
really.
2 pounds of blow on the bus. That would never last.
Yeah.
Our bus driver's big.
Yeah, we hide it well,
Yeah.
don't we?
Yeah.
Got to keep them up for those long runs.
And we have a lot of stories about that. One time,
Yeah,
our bus
jeez.
driver thought it would be funny to come up. We were speaking to our managers on the front lounge, and he came up and he tapped out a line of like sweet and low, and he snorted it right in front of them, and they didn't say anything, and we were just kind of like, that hilarious, right? And then so later I said something. I was like, that was a joke. He's our bus driver. He's not doing coke. He's like, I didn't know. I thought maybe that's what really happened there. Like, no, it's just sweet and low. He's fine.
Mr. Kevin Cassidy.
That's right.
Folks.
Yeah.
We had this bus driver that just played pranks on us nonstop.
So if you are a member of law enforcement watching this right now and Chevelle is coming to your town soon, no need for a strip
Yeah.
search.
Yeah.
Sweet and low. That's it.
How is it, by the way, getting across borders now? Because things have gotten really weird, particularly between the U.S. and Canada when traveling back and forth. I ran into it myself going from the Yukon back to Alaska, and I know a lot of bands get hassled at the borders both ways now. You guys run into any
I mean,
of
if
that?
your paperwork's pretty good, but do you remember Mark? He was so frustrated with the Border Patrol, he actually stripped his all the way down to his underwear to go through the metal detector.
Did he?
They loved it. The Border Patrol thought it was great. Like, we can see it. You
That
got
could have
nothing.
gone horribly wrong. I don't remember that.
Yeah, they were laughing at him. Yeah, he was crazy hammered drunk. It was like 5:30 in the morning. That was a good time.
Is there a video of this? Is there an
There
Instagram
isn't. I wish
feed
there
of this
was.
thing?
Somewhere
was.
they must have it.
But he because they kept telling him to, like, you need to take this off and you take this off, and he's like, fine, I'll just take, and he's right down to his underwear, walks through there, and they're just like, fantastic. It's
Normally the TSA frowns on that, so
No, I don't think
do
that's
this at
true.
your own risk.
good. I'm pretty sure that's not true. You can take your underwear off and walk through
Go
the
ahead.
airport.
Give it a
D-
shot.
don't call us, though, later.
Yeah.
Let's get back to some of the music from 12 Bloody Spies. Is there anything in particular you remember creating? You were sometime a little bit nebulous when speaking about creating music,
Yeah.
but are there any particular memories you have of any of these tunes?
Yeah, I've been talking about, Sleepwalking Elite a little bit. That's a blast to play live, by the way. We just did that in Houston. First time in, like, how long?
Oh, I mean,
10 years,
yeah,
maybe?
probably like 8 years.
8 years. Yeah, I'm really proud of some of the songs. A Miracle, how we open the album. It's pretty deep for me. Talking about life and death, and and how, like, we live in this. If you're alive right now, you are living in the miracle right now, as far as I can tell. So don't lose sight of that. That's what that song's about.
Any other songs come to mind?
Let's see. I should have sang on The Gist. That's
Yeah, we kinda
something
missed that
I
one.
regret. But it's a fun song to play too.
Yeah, it's a good intro.
Fizz Gig is a blast. It's super long and
Yeah, our friend
intertwining with pedal work, which
Yeah.
I struggle with hugely.
our friend Brian Virtue recorded that actually in my basement. It was just as fast as we could go. We need this song, and it was one that we had just started. And
That's
it's
right.
it-
High pressure.
high pressure.
Seriously
and
high
worked out
pressure.
But it came out. It sounds like its own thing. It
it
doesn't sound
does.
like anything else.
Mhm.
It was a fun time.
You mentioned The Gist. Are there any other songs that you go back to and think, I could have done this, or I should have done this? Or are you normally okay with, it sounds pretty good?
Every single one.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. It's torture to listen to my own stuff. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's like
do you
work.
hear shit when you listen to it?
I every single time I
Yeah.
think I could have done something different, but you
Yeah.
can't
You
think
can't
about
live
that.
there. But I don't put my own records on, so I'm kind of immune to that. But
That's probably good. When you listen to something, particularly, you went back to many of these things, some of which were from years ago. Do you ever think about the moment of creation where, gee, I wanted to do this, the other guys wanted me to do this, and now it's not the way I want, and I'm stuck forever with it?
Oh, Pete's a tyrant. It's
Pretty much.
whatever he wants. That's the way it goes.
pretty much
Coffee right now.
got that covered.
Oh, it's coffee
Fresh
over there.
pots, like Dave Grohl.
There's
Fresh
coffee
pots.
over there, by the way.
There
It's
is,
just-
yeah.
It's good.
So what's the plan through 2019 and into 2020?
We have a ton. I mean, we're a working rock band. We
Yeah.
work all the time, and we're happy to do it. So we are writing this record. We got about 10 songs together right now, and we're gonna try and be in the studio the end of February. And our first show is April 22nd, I think, in New Orleans. So, and then we're working on this sort of festival tour that we're gonna do. That's like a headline thing where we curate, 5-6 bands as well as us.
Sort of a long day.
Yeah, sort of a long day.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a great short title, by the way. Sort of a long day.
Yeah.
Chevelle's Sort of a Long Day.
You're right.
Wow.
It's not bad.
I'm serious.
It's not bad.
That's pretty
Well,
good.
it's going to be very rock band and beer oriented, and just kind of like a cool, just a good festival that have bands that we want to be part of and promote.
Blunch
So-
Fest, right?
Blunch Fest, yes, beer and lunch.
One last thing, as beer connoisseurs and proud Chicagoans, when people come to the city of Chicago, which is the great American city, where do you send them for beer?
Revolution Brewery.
Yeah, right now
Some of
they-
the great
I mean,
stuff.
We were just there recently, and everything was fantastic.
Just got a tour.
And it's
killer.
actually has a great pub inside of it,
Mm-hmm.
which is really cool.
And what about pizza? Where do you go for pizza in Chicago?
Pizza's
That
a
you got to
hard
go
one.
outside a little bit. You can get it in the city, but
Yeah.
where do we go, bro?
We go to a place called Bill's Pizza. They have
Bill's Pub.
It's on the north side, and they have 2 places, and that's what we eat. People eat pizza in Chicago. They usually eat it's just thin crust cheese and sausage. That's what most people eat.
Yeah.
We
The tourists probably eat thick stuff.
So this
Yeah,
stuff
you
is,
shouldn't
is
eat the
the
thick stuff.
deep
Yeah.
dish stuff.
Yeah,
then.
don't eat that. That's not.
Oh, no,
don't
that's
eat it.
not real pizza to me. And my favorite place in Chicago is Peace Pizza.
Oh, really?
Which is by the old, it's right around the corner from where the Double Door was, I think, right?
Right there on Milwaukee Avenue. Or
Yeah,
North
right
Avenue or
around there
something?
where all the corners come
Yeah.
together, kind of crazy.
I don't know that if I've ever had that.
Peace Pizza is, other than Federici's in Freehold, New Jersey, it's probably the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
That's
Thin
fantastic. We'll have
Right.
to try
crust,
that.
awesome.
How is Two Boots here?
Say again? I'm sorry?
Two Boots Pizzeria. Do you know that place?
I don't know that one.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. We just
Let's
we
go
had,
now.
We had it like 15 years ago with our
Yeah.
late manager.
Rose.
and we just drove by it today, and I was like, "Look, Two Boots."
Yeah, Rose, our
Let's,
manager.
let's
she
go
said-
right now. You
Okay,
ready to go?
Let's do it. Yeah.
I've been speaking to Pete and Sam Loeffler of Chevelle. I'm Lou Brutus from HardDrive. It's time for pizza. Let's go.